Hello class. Today we're going to talk about balance point of data. We already started talking about this in class, so we want to finish up finding the balance point of our data. And we're going to use some counters, the whiteboards, and a number line. So make sure you have all these things ready so you can follow along. You're also going to need your notes because as you use the counters and the number lines and the whiteboard to find the balance point, you're also going to do this on paper as well. So you won't always have counters and the other supplies you need to help you find the balance point. So we do need to know how to do it just with paper and pencil. So get started. You should have already completed the review section at the top of the page. And we talked about in class the know it section about what mean as a balance point is. And just to do a real quick review, the balance point is that measurement of your data that is the same distance from all the data below it and all the data above it. So when we did this in class, I will put up an example of what we did in class. We actually found the distance for our data. So we were given the balance point of 4 for both of these, and the data points were already marked on our number lines. So it's like a line plot. And then we found the distance from each data point to that balance point. So for instance, this 3 is 1 away from 4. This 1 is 3 away from 4. And we did that for all of the data points below the balance point, and we got 10. And we did that for all the data points above, and we got an 8 for this particular one. So when you compare the two distances for the data below and the data above, they are not equal. So this data was not balanced. But we did another example where when we added up the distances, we got 13 on both sides, and those are equal, so this data was balanced. So we need to keep in mind that when we're talking about the data, we want to know that balance point is the same distance from all these distances and all these distances. You have to add them all up. But now we're going to try and find the balance point. So you need your notes, and you're going to do a few of these with the counters in class. And as you're doing them, you're going to write them down. So here are the notes, and here are the steps that you're going to do. You're going to plot all your points, your data points, on the number line. So why don't we go ahead and do that if you haven't done that already. And you're just going to mark an X. You could actually use anything, an X, a circle, a heart, whatever it is that you want to draw. But most of the time on the SOL test and on our unit test, you are going to see an X. So I'm just going to always use an X. So for this one, I'm going to put my data in order. That's the first thing I always like to do. 2, 4, 5, 5, 7, 7. And then I'm going to put those points on my number line. I have a 2, I have 4, 5, 5, 7, and 7. And I don't know what that balance point is. So I'm going to figure out what that balance point is. And how we're going to do that is we are going to move the outermost plotted data towards the center. And we're going to go from one side to the other, one movement at a time. So move from the left, then move from the right. Move one from the left, move one from the right. And you just keep moving towards the center. And when you get all your counters towards the middlemost point, then that is going to be your balance point. So it's a little bit easier to explain using our number line. So I'm going to go ahead and use the number line to show you how this works. So you need to do this as well. I'm going to have to zoom out quite a bit so you can see the whole board. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have your number line placed on your board, and you need to number it. Now, this is a blank number line, and the reason is you never know what data points you're going to get. So you're going to have to make numbers on your number line fit your data points. And if you look at your notes, the data points that we have on this data set go from 2 to 7. So we want to make sure that our number line is from 2 to 7. Now I already numbered this on your notes, so I'm just going to number this one the same as what is on your notes. And I'm going to number it 0 through 9. Might get a little more on there, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I even got a 10 on there. Now make sure you're not writing on the number line itself, because you're going to have to do this again and again for your notes so that you understand how this works, and you're going to have to use different numbers. So now that I've numbered the number line, I place counters for wherever my data points are. So in this case I had one marked at 2, 4,